Hello everybody and welcome to another Twilight Zone review. Today it is Season 2, Episode 18, The Odyssey of Flight 33, written by Rod Serling and starring John Anderson as Captain Farber. And what can you say, another day, another time travel episode. But it's good, so that's fine. We start in an airplane this time, and we get the captain and crew, and they're basically talking, I guess, just normally how you would. They're doing some technical talk about the flight, and we find out the flight number is 33, and all of a sudden the captain gets a funny feeling. And something happens, and all of a sudden the flight can't get anyone on the radio, and the captain concludes that they must have hit some kind of jet stream, but other than that he's not really sure what happened. So we get the opening narration by Rod Serling, and he talks about how the plane is entering the Twilight Zone. So then we get a scene with two stewardesses on the plane, and they are talking, and one of the stewardesses who was with the captain and crew when this happened tells the other one they could be in trouble, but to stay calm and take care of the passengers. And this is one of my just slight little things about this otherwise good episode. We're introduced to two of the passengers here, and they talk, and they never really go back to that, which seems a bit odd. So why even do it? It really didn't add anything to the episode. So after that, we get back to the captain and crew, and all of a sudden they feel this shaking, and we do get to see that on screen. And the captain says they might have gone past the sound barrier. Now, one thing I'll say, I'm not going to get into all the technical talking done in this episode. It does give the episode a sense of realism, but some of it can also be a little difficult at times to perceive exactly what's happening. But I like the fact that Rod Serling put this in and trusted that the audience would be smart enough to follow along. So I give kudos for that. So back to the episode. They can't get a read on their equipment anymore. The radio isn't working. Basically, they don't know where they are. So they're now very concerned, obviously, I would say with good reason, because they have basically no radio, no location, and very limited fuel. So the captain says, well, we'll just keep going, and we'll have to try and land, somewhere familiar. We don't have a choice with the limited fuel. So the first thing they wind up seeing is New York City, or at least what they think is New York City. All the right landmarks are there for it to be Manhattan Island, but there's no city and no people there. But one of the crewmen says, look out the window, and we do see a dinosaur. So that's about the halfway point of the episode. So when we come back, the captain says we must have gone back in time. Yeah, I would say, what else could it be? So he says, we'll go back into the jet stream, and maybe we can hit it the same way and go back into the present. So they try this, and it actually works. So they think they're fine. They see a city below them. So, they say, let's get someone on the radio. But when they get the man on the radio, he has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. But he says, if you're low on fuel, I'll clear you to land anyway. And they're getting ready to take a chance on landing when they look out the window and see that it's the World's Fair, which means they came back to about 1939. Now remember, this was in the early 60s. So they came back, but they didn't come back far enough. Now, the one thing I'm not so sure about is the captain that says we can't land. We can't land in 1939. But what's your real alternative? I mean, it might have been worth considering landing in 1939 and taking that chance. At least you would be on the ground and you would be somewhere on the earth. I'm not sure about that, but it's an interesting dilemma. But what really happens is he says, we'll try again. And then, he makes an announcement back to the stewardesses and the passengers. And he tells them what's going on, and basically they're going to try again. And we get Rod Serling's closing narration, and apparently they're going to keep trying over and over and over. And I did like the ending narration where Rod Serling says, if you hear them, up in the sky, you'll know that it's Flight 33 trying to get home. So I wonder if every time we see a plane in the sky, if one of them might be Flight 33. I don't know. But I don't know if this makes sense either, because wouldn't they run out of fuel eventually? Maybe not. It's the Twilight Zone. Who really knows? So this episode does end kind of up in the air. We never really find out what happens to Flight 33, which to me is a very interesting ending that you can contemplate. Some people may not like it. I found it to be satisfactory. It leaves a sense of wonder. Not every episode, in my opinion, has to have an open and shut ending. It works here, and this is a solid episode overall with a few little issues, and I give the Odyssey of Flight 33 a 4 out of 5. Definitely a memorable episode and worth checking out. 4 out of 5 for Odyssey of Flight 33. Thanks for watching.